Are you thinking about selling your house in order to buy a new construction home here in the Inland Empire this year? Before you go and fall in love with the beautiful model homes that they have, there are a few traps that many people don't see coming. So in this video, let's discuss the 6 biggest mistakes that I see just far too many people making, and maybe more importantly, how you can avoid them. Here's probably one of the biggest surprises many people don't see coming: phase pricing. Builders are usually going to roll out their new homes in phases, and those initial phases, more times than not, they're usually going to start out just a little bit lower in price. But as each phase rolls out and they start gaining more popularity, it's not uncommon to see the next phase, the pricing go up just a little bit.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, as those initial phases get started, you might see billboards out advertising that read "new home starting in the high 500s," but can very easily, within a couple phases, change to "new home starting in the low 600s. And if you're a move-up seller, meaning you're selling your old house in order to buy a new home, yeah, this absolutely matters. Although I guess it really doesn't matter if you're selling or not. This is probably going to matter to everyone. But if you have to sell in order to buy that new home, it's definitely going to matter to you, because timing is everything. If you wait too long to get your house listed for sale, getting it on the market, you could potentially run the risk of getting priced out of the model, the lot, just the new home that you were really interested in. In fact, I've seen it happen. I've seen where buyers, they fell in love with a new home only to see that next phase go up in price $15,000, $25,000, maybe even $50,000 before they ever got the ball rolling on getting their house on the market. Hey, real quick, if this is your first time here, my name's Jose and I am your SoCal Realtor. Here we help Inland Empire homeowners sell smart, buy their next home better, and move with confidence. So if you are thinking about making a move, don't hesitate to reach out. My team and I, we are here and ready to help. But enough about that. Let's get back to the rest of the video. Now, if you've never bought new construction before, this next one, it can sometimes hit hard. Lot premiums. Yeah, that model home looks amazing. I mean, big backyard, open views, it's a corner lot, maybe even a little extra space between the neighbors. But those features, they're not usually included. Yeah, to get some of those features, you're gonna pay a premium for that lot. And here in the Inland Empire, lot premiums, they can range anywhere from $5,000 to, I've seen them as much as $75,000. Although they're not usually quite that high, but they can. It just all depends on the location, community, and of course the features of that lot. The point though is just simply, the prices that you see on a billboard for advertising, or maybe the price that you've seen on an online advert, those prices are rarely, if ever, going to include lot premiums. And again, if you're selling in order to buy a new home, well then you need to plan ahead. You need to plan accordingly, meaning how much equity do you have? What's the equity that you're going to have to work with once your house sells, or how much cash that you have saved? Because obviously that's what's going to come into play when it comes to purchasing your new home. And if you have a specific community or a model or a lot that you're really interested in, well then, is that going to be enough to cover that purchase? Trap number 3 is the upgrades and just how fast they can balloon your budget if you're not careful. Many builders price their upgrades a la carte, meaning the flooring, the cabinets, the electrical, the appliance packages, the counters, the showers, they're all priced separately. And that model home that you just walked into, the one that looked absolutely gorgeous, yeah, you might have to add an extra $20,000, maybe $50,000, maybe even $100,000 in upgrades to make your new home look like that. And again, if you're a move-up seller, meaning you have to sell in order to buy that new home, as I said, you got to plan ahead. You got to know how much equity you have to work with. Something you definitely want to know before you ever sit down in their design center, because I promise you, they're going to show you a lot of upgrades. They're going to look phenomenal. And if you go and you select a few of them and you say, I want that one, I want that, and you pick a few of them, and then you come back and find out that, ooh, we don't have as much to work with as we thought. Now you're going to have to go back and sit there and look at some of those upgrades and decide, which ones do we cut? Trap number 4 is misunderstanding timelines, and here's what I mean by that. So if you're not buying a spec home, meaning you're not buying a home that's already been built, well then what builders are going to do is they're going to give you an estimated timeline on when your home should be built. Not a guaranteed timeline, but an estimated timeline on when your home should be finished and completed and built, So, they might tell you, your home is expected to be estimatedly around mid-May. So we'll say May 15th. But due to unforeseen circumstances, delays, maybe it caused the completion date to get pushed back. Now it's like mid-June before it's expected to be completed. Most of the time, if there are delays, it's not usually going to be more than maybe a week or two, but I mean, it could be longer. You could have weather delays. You could have a shortage of labor, maybe delays in materials or supplies, delays with city inspection. Let me just say though, builders are usually pretty good. I mean, their estimates are usually pretty close, and then obviously as you get closer to that date, they're going to narrow it down, boom, and here's your close date. But again, if something happened, if a delay that they didn't foresee came into play and caused that to, I mean, yeah, if you're selling your house in order to buy that new home, that could be an issue, because I mean, you have a buyer that's buying your house from you, and they're getting ready to close escrow, and they want to move into the house that they just bought, but your new home that you're buying isn't ready yet, then yeah, that could be an issue. By the way, if you are planning to buy a new construction home this year, I have a free new construction home buyer's guide. It goes through everything involved with buying a new construction home. Everything you need to know when buying a new construction home. You can download it after the video, but you'll find the link down below. Number 5 kind of goes hand in hand with number 4, and that is the dreaded double move. And for obvious reasons, probably one of the more stressful things involved with selling your house in order to buy a new home is getting the two of them to line up. It sounds simple, but here's what can sometimes happen. You list your house for sale and everything goes great, your house sells fast, and now the buyer wants to close. They want to move into the house that they just bought from you, but your new construction home, it isn't done yet. And it's not going to be ready for still a couple more weeks. And now you're moving twice. You're moving into temporary housing. You're storing all your stuff, all your furniture. You're paying twice for a moving company, or paying twice for a moving truck. It zaps you of all the excitement of your new home. Not often, but it can happen. Let me just say there are solutions that can help with that. It's just that if you don't prepare, if you don't plan ahead for the possibility, then yeah, you could find yourself moving twice, moving from the house you just sold to temporary housing, and then finally moving into your new home. And number 6, representation. If you go into a builder's office without your own representation, especially if you're trying to sell a house at the same time, there really are quite a few ways things could go wrong.
Well, that's great. Great.
Don't get me wrong, I mean, the builder's reps, they are very friendly, very knowledgeable, very helpful. In fact, I personally know and have a good working relationship with quite a few of them. But never forget who they represent. It's the one paying their paycheck, the builder, not you. That's why having your own agent really is a good idea. Someone who looks out for and protects your contingency strategy. Someone who helps align the sale timeline of your house with the builder's timeline. Someone that can negotiate incentives. Yeah, I wouldn't expect the builder's rep to help you negotiate too much on that one. Someone who tracks any potential delays. And someone who works with you to ensure your equity transfer from your old house to your new home goes smoothly. As I mentioned earlier, if you are thinking about buying a new construction home in 2026, do not forget to download my free new construction home buyer's guide. It's designed to be your blueprint, designed to help ensure that you know everything you need to know, everything that's involved with buying a new construction home. You can find the link to download that down below. Of course, if you do have any questions at all, or if you are thinking about buying or selling, whether that's new construction or not, my contact information, that is down below also. Feel free to reach out. Otherwise, until then, we'll catch you on the next one.